Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the August 14th, 2025 meeting of Burlington's Conservation Commission. This meeting and hearing of the Conservation Commission will be held in person at the second floor meeting room at Town Hall. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is provided as a courtesy, the meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technical problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless it is otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in any specific item should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. Okay, the roll call. When I call your name, please say present or here. Commissioner Bill Boyven.
Here.
Commissioner Ed Laturco.
Here.
Commissioner Sarah Walensky.
Here.
Commissioner Kent Moffett. He seems to be absent so far. Commissioner Rob Sheehan.
Here.
Commissioner Indra Deb.
Here.
Associate Commissioner Sadie Backstrom.
Here.
And for the record, the chair, Larry Cohen, is present. All right, so on the agenda tonight, we have a couple of things that have been apparently continued. Notice of intent, 7A Street, American Maplewood Properties, they have requested a continuance to September 11th. Did we previously do a motion, Eileen, on that, or should we?
No, we should do it. That's
Okay, could I have a motion to continue 7A Street, American Maplewood Properties hearing to the meeting of September 11th?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, I need to call a roll call because Bill is online. Bill?
Yes.
All right. Indra?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Ed? And the chair votes yes. So a 6-0-0 vote. That is continued to September 11th. Next, we have 114 Wynn Street, Burlington Public Schools, to redevelop the playing field. DEP file number 122-713. They have also requested a continuance to September 11th. Is there a motion to do that? Second?
Second.
Okay. Ed, how do you vote?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes, 6-0-0. The 114 Wynn Street is continued to the meeting of September 11th. All right, now we're down to public comment. Is there somebody here that's in the audience or online that would like to have a few words with the commission about something not on the agenda? So far, the answer is no here. How about online? Anyone online looking to speak? Apparently, the answer is no there. So the record should show that there was no one contributing to public comment. All right. Okay, now we got approval of minutes. That's item 3A. We have minutes of June 12, 2026. Does anyone have comments that are worth discussing other than routine edits?
Nope.
Anyone? Nope. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of June 12, 2025? Second?
Second.
All right. Ed, how do you vote?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
The chair votes yes by a vote of 6-0-0. Minutes of June 12th are approved. We have minutes of June 26. Any discussion needed on that one?
Nope.
I did tweak some wording. I wasn't sure if Bill would catch it too. Some wording at the end, on the description. It wasn't a hearing. It was about the stormwater. It just wasn't clear that we had already had been to town meeting in May, so I just tweaked some wording down there. Okay.
Okay. So, could I have a motion to approve the June 26, 2025 with Eileen's tweaks?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Ed, how do you vote?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
The chair votes yes by a vote of 6-0-0. The minutes of June 26, 2025 are approved. Now we'll skip down to item 4, request for certificate of compliance. We have 3 permits out for 62 Cambridge Street, the Herb Chambers Company. First is DEP file number 122-376, DEP file number 122-378, and DEP file number 122-619. So either Lucy or Eileen, do you have comments on this one?
Well, I do, but I think does Chris want to speak first?
Oh, okay.
up to you.
I didn't even look up to see that you were here.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I'll introduce myself in a minute. I'll let this gentleman speak first.
Or Mark?
Yeah, very briefly. So for the record, Attorney Mark Vaughn with the law firm of Reamer Bronstein. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. So I think, as you probably know, I've represented Herb Chambers up until recently in connection with its dealerships in town. So I just want to let the board, the commission know that recently, Asbury Automotive Group has acquired all of the Herb Chambers dealerships. You may have seen that in the newspaper. but
Asbury Automotive, where are they out of?
They're out of Georgia. So they're based
Georgia.
out of Georgia. They're one of the largest retailers of automobiles in the country, actually. So
To buy Herb Chambers, they must have a lot of...
yeah, they had a few dollars, yeah. But as they're actually a publicly traded company, and I'm just here to let you know they're, now the proud owners of the facilities in town, the different dealerships, which would be Porsche, Audi, Kia, and Honda. And as a publicly traded company, they take their responsibilities very seriously. So kind of going forward, they have a facilities team, compliance team, and always have tried to be good stewards in the communities where they operate. So I think in this particular instance, there were, as part of their acquisition of the various dealerships, it came to light that there was a couple certificates of compliance that had apparently slipped through the cracks for Porsche and Audi, and so I think all the paperwork that was required to be submitted was submitted by Chris, and so hopefully everything is in good order. But that's all. I just...
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Civil Engineer Chris Sparagus from the Engineering and Survey Office of Williams and Sparagus in Middleton. We've been working with Herb Chambers on the Porsche project and the Audi project for quite a long time. We've recently submitted a request for certificate of compliance for order of conditions that was issued back in April of 2004 for the construction of the Audi dealership at 62 Cambridge Street. So it's quite old, right? We're over 20 years old now. But we prepared an as-built plan, reviewed the order of conditions, and prepared a request for certificate of compliance, taking a look at each of the special conditions. You may recall that the Audi building is rather large in the middle of the property, with a large parking field and a small accessory building in the back. There's a large retaining wall on the far side, close to Route 128. At the bottom of the retaining wall, which is as high as 20 feet in some areas, there is a wetland system that borders on a drainage channel that connects and flows underneath the off-ramp from 128 at that exit, and then goes into another culvert, and under 128 again. There were wetlands down there, bordering vegetative wetlands, and there was also a small isolated wetland that was flagged up on the side of the hill. As part of the project, the folks at Herb Chambers received approval to do some wetland filling as part of the project, and to build a retaining wall on that low side. After we conducted our survey, our as-built survey, and reviewed the area down below, it was determined that there was a little bit more filling that took place than what was proposed, and the reason for that additional filling was at the bottom of the retaining wall. It took a while to figure this out, but when I overlaid approved plans and as-built plans, the bottom of the wall extended out a little bit further than what was shown on the approved plan, anywhere from 1 to 2 feet along a rather long stretch. And so the approved amount of wetland filling involved some filling of isolated wetland. There was a small isolated wetland, as I mentioned before, of 775 square feet, and there was 3,805 square feet of bordering vegetative wetland proposed to be filled. The entire isolated wetland, of course, was filled, but they ended up filling a little bit more than 3,085. We're at 3,300. Now, the proposed replication area down below was proposed to be quite a little bit larger than the fill at 4,355. But what we found after doing our as-built survey and having our professional wetland scientists go down and review that area a couple of different times, that the actual replication area grew quite a bit larger, up approximately 5,200 square feet, so it was much more replication than what was originally approved. There were some other minor changes up on top of the parking lot outside of the buffer zone. When we looked at the as-built plan and compared it to the approved plan over by Porsche, there was a row of parking that was flipped and mirrored as part of the Porsche project, which this board saw as part of the filing for Porsche. There was also some additional landscaping that we added to the Audi property when some trees were removed from the front of the previous Porsche auxiliary parking area. And then there was a minor engineering change in 2022, which changed the shape of the front of the building a little bit to get rid of a curved portion and make it a squared portion, for which we received a minor engineering change. So I think the biggest difference was that additional filling. So we wanted to bring that to your attention, but it's a huge wetland down there, and I went down there myself because I wanted to check a few things that were requested in the order, and it is a huge wetland down there, and it's acting like one for sure.
It sounds like you're saying that although there was a few hundred extra square feet of filling, the replication area went up substantially.
That's correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right. Eileen?
Would you like to treat them all together and for Chris to go through the other two, or do you want to have a few words about this one first? Because either way, it doesn't matter to me. Well, you know what, he's presented about this. I'll just give a few words if that's okay.
Okay,
This one was kind of the most complicated, the one he just did, the one he just described.
So let's do the most complicated one.
Well, I really have hardly any comments on the others. I just wanted to update the commission on one or two things. It was a bit complicated, it seems. You were on the commission at that stage, Larry, but most of the rest of us weren't. So there were some ups and downs.
He was there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Indra, you were there too. It seems like there were some ups and downs. There were one or two like erosion controls or violations that just took a little time to get sorted, but that all did get sorted. There were to be 2 years of stormwater testing, and a protocol was submitted. I have one set of results from October 2004. I don't have 2 years' worth. However, if those October ones were all fine, I can see that there was probably a general agreement that maybe 2 years really just weren't necessary. No salt signs were to be posted. That was on that one, right? On that, it was for this filing. They're not up there yet, but there is a plan that they're going to be put up. So I wouldn't necessarily hold up anything for just those signs, because I'll stay on top of them that they get there. They had been using salt, but they're going to switch to using magnesium or calcium chloride. They had been using NaCl, but they're going to, now that they've sort of realized. As Chris pointed out, wetland replication, the numbers are slightly different than planned, but the replication is definitely bigger. And as I said to everybody when we were out there yesterday, I did not go down there myself to have a trek through the jungle, but you can see it looks really healthy from the top of that massive wall. And I do trust what the wetland scientist said on that one. So I think that when you can see the stream still flowing quite well through the vegetation. There was also supposed to be written assessment of the wetland plants for 2 years after planting. I didn't find that, but as I said, it looks like it's all in really good shape. The commission was to inspect the swale on the western side of the stream. It's difficult to access that area, and a wetland scientist did confirm the stream and wetland are stable and function well. And in fact, I think you saw the 2 check dams you told me.
That was one of the things I wanted to see with my own eyes, and I took pictures of that and included it in the application, so they definitely did that.
The applicant was to submit a detail of the proposed wall before construction. I didn't find evidence that it was submitted at the time, but we have received those wall specs now, and they're dated 2007. And as I said yesterday, they couldn't have built the wall without having them somewhere, even if we didn't get them. Ongoing maintenance contracts, we did receive a stormwater report in 2009, and then with some prompting from us, we received another one in 2023. They just did a cleaning, and Chris is ensuring that they're getting a new inspection is also going to be done. And then, as he mentioned, some internal changes to the orientation. We also went out there today, no, we were yesterday, and we saw the dumpster that was on that site. And we did look into that, and I asked Chris, and Chris and Mark followed up on that, and they called me today. Do you want to take it, or will I just explain?
Sure, I can explain very quickly. So the dumpster corral that whoever members were out there yesterday, there are two parts to it. If you're standing in front of it looking at it, to the left is a scrap metal container. It's an open container with a drain in the bottom. That's intended and used only for scrap metal, and it's only emptied about once every 3 weeks. When the flatbed truck comes to collect that open container, they open the gates, they attach a cable, and then they lift the dumpster and drag it onto the flatbed. So when that happens, if there is any water stuck on some of the metal parts or on the inside of the dumpster, some of the water does flow out of the dumpster, and that's what you saw. They actually came and it was emptied yesterday around lunchtime, so that's why it looked very fresh, if you will. But looking inside that dumpster is pretty beat up. It's although the outside's painted, the inside is all, the walls are all rusty, the paint has all come off. So we've asked Herb Chambers to replace that dumpster with one that's not rusty on the inside to try to prevent rust from mixing with rainwater, and when they're lifting it to pull it out of there, that doesn't happen. The area to the right is for municipal solid waste. It's a traditional dumpster with a cover on it. That's where all of their other waste goes, but you probably noticed that they do store some inside the corral, some tires, and there were a couple of empty drum containers that they're gonna, they typically store them there before they're removed. They inspected them today just to make sure that everything looked okay. There was some rainwater that had accumulated in them. They're going to hire a company that handles containers like that to just remove that water before they're removed. And it is a staging area for things like that. You also saw a propane tank that was empty. It's used to fuel a small forklift that they use inside the building. And so that was empty, just waiting to be taken away. So those things are all going to be removed in fairly short order.
All right, so does anybody on the commission, Bill or anyone else, have a question about this specific issue, about what we saw at the dumpster?
No, I'm satisfied to hear the answer. I was glad to see that it's just rust that is coming out of it, and the freshness is well explained there.
Anyone else?
It looked a little greasy to me.
Well, here's the thing. As Sarah said, it looked a little greasy. I don't know about that, but it was a blazing hot day. And if it was liquid water, it should have dried up and shown like sort of a powdered rust look, is what it should have. Instead, it looks like staining. So I suspect there was some type of organic material on the scrap metal that the rain came, and with the rain came the stuff washing off of, I'm just guessing, I don't know, the scrap metal. So I think we can't have that situation, if that's the situation, and not, I'm sure it was water in the dumpster, but that doesn't explain the staining, the rust it explains. It doesn't explain the remaining staining on a very hot day that didn't dry up.
So to answer your question about that, when I did my walkthrough, I went back to look at my photos because I know I took pictures up and down the parking lot, and Eileen and I walked it as well. There is some evidence of iron staining in and around the dumpster from my photographs on a very hot July day, but I truly, based on what I heard from the gentleman who was the assistant store manager today, that dumpster literally got emptied right after lunch, probably around 1 o'clock yesterday, and so it was very fresh, if you will, for you folks to see it if you were there around 3:30.
You're around 3:30, and
Yeah.
it just struck me if it was pure water, water wouldn't have even lasted that long, is the point.
No, of course
I don't know if there was something that was in there that might have contributed to it that, was since removed.
Well, that's
from
my
it.
suspicion.
Yeah.
There was something on the metal parts that washed away with the water and
Right.
led to some little bit of staining, a trail leading to
Yeah.
the manhole.
But we certainly, we did have a call today with the assistant general manager who was very aware of kind of the timing and everything, and he knows now that, we need to look into kind of a better dumpster there first off, one that's kind of newer, fresher, doesn't have all the rust on it, but I think more attentiveness to what's put in there to make sure that it's not something that's going to be rusting out.
Coated with anything that might be organic.
Yeah.
Like oil or grease or whatever the case is.
Can I make a follow-up comment?
Sure can.
I have also spoken to Christine Mathis from the Board of Health about this, and she was also in touch with somebody from Herb Chambers as well. So she's still going to follow up on this, and because she's the person who told me that, if those canisters are completely empty per the regulations, then they're not a hazard, and they can be there. If they're not, then it's a hazardous waste. So she's going to follow up on this, and if necessary, as you know, Board of Health has pretty wide discretion, and she can do something if she's concerned that there's more of an issue still outstanding. If that helps.
Perfect. Okay, so let's see if there's any other comments now on, this is DEP file number, which one, Eileen?
This was 376.
37 what?
6.
Okay, 376. Ed, anything further? All right, Ron? Sarah?
No.
Indra?
I have one question. Do they use any sort of chemicals in this facility?
Do they use chemicals in this facility? There's no body work done, but they do general automobile repair. So they have waste containers inside the building that go in a trash bag and then into the municipal solid waste dumpster. I'm sure they also have hazardous waste containment things for their oil and grease. So there are some hazardous chemicals that are used in the building, oil for oil changes, changing brake pads and that sort of thing.
Sadie, anything on this? Bill?
Just one comment. I was disappointed to hear they've been using sodium chloride for 17 years before they figured out it was the wrong thing, and that's a good reason. That shows why we need the signs that say no salt.
Yeah, I don't know if it actually has been for 17. We, full transparency, check with the most current contractor who does the snow removal, and he's aware now, but I'm not sure it's been going on that long, Bill. But point well taken, and the signs will go up, so in the future, everyone knows. So,
Thank you.
All right. So it would seem to me, could we get a letter back to the Conservation Commission verifying when the new salt signs have gone up, so that we know, so we don't have to go out there and start looking for signs that aren't there. It would be nice to know. And maybe a sentence that says they have now switched to magnesium chloride in the letter. And do we, the O&M, for the subsurface things, do we ask for copies routinely of the contract to demonstrate that they have a contract in place?
We do, and we've been asking for not just copies of the contract, but actually copies of the reports, if they're doing actual inspections, to give us copies of those.
And have they been doing that, or you can't?
Well, they hadn't for quite a number of years, but a lot of people, these aren't the only people that sort of fell off the radar for everybody on this. We've been prodding a lot of companies in the last few years, and they have responded to that, and they have given.
So in that same letter, could we have a statement from the management saying that we will maintain a contract for maintenance of the subsurface structures for inspection and maintenance, and that you will submit the copy of the reports to the Conservation Commission? So those three things. When the no salt signs are up, you're going to verify that a switch has been made, a statement, sentence,
Yep.
for magnesium chloride, and that the contracts and the will be submitted.
Yes. We do have a contract. It's with Windover Environmental that's doing the catch basin cleaning, so that was provided to Eileen.
We do have a copy of that contract.
Yeah.
Okay, so just the reporting, the inspection reports and so forth.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm not of the opinion that we should hold up the certificate but,
No, I don't think so either.
yeah, but I thought we should get that out of the way.
No, I think that's a good idea, the way you did it.
All right, so if there's nothing further, could I, now also that wetland, that freshly planted wetland rain garden, whatever,
Oh, yeah, we didn't even mention. Oh, no, that's actually,
That's for
that's on the
One
other
of the
one.
next ones.
It's on the next one, okay.
it's the third one.
So could I have a motion to issue the certificate of compliance for DEP file number 122-376?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Ed, how do you vote?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
The chair votes yes, 600. The certificate has been issued for 122-376. Let's talk about 378 now.
So 378, Mr. Chairman, is another order of conditions issued by the Conservation Commission back in January of 2004, again for the Audi property at 62 Cambridge Street. And the purpose of this separate order was to allow geotechnical borings to be done in rather sensitive areas on the site. So the commission really wanted a separate permit application and order issued because we were actually they were drilling borings within wetland resource areas. And so they wanted to be able to control that activity. Obviously, the purpose of that activity was to allow for the proper design of that retaining wall. And so that order was issued, and the geotechnical borings were completed and shared with the geotechnical engineer, and we satisfied all of the requirements of that order of conditions. This one, in my opinion, is rather straightforward, and therefore we're seeking a certificate of compliance for that work.
Eileen?
I have nothing to add. That's exactly as Chris
Okay.
explained, except just to say, I think he mentioned 1,440 or something square feet of wetlands were disturbed. That wasn't required to be restored for that project because it was going to be subsumed into the rest of the restoration.
All right, so you have no objection to
No
issue.
objection.
All right, Bill, anything on this?
No.
Sadie, anything? Indra?
No.
Sarah?
No.
Rob? Ed, I have nothing further. Could I have a motion to issue the certificate of compliance for DEP file number 122-378?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Ed, how you vote?
Yes.
Rob? Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes, 600. Number 378, the certificate has been issued. About number 122-619.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for construction of a new Porsche dealership and associated parking facility at the property known as 64 Cambridge Street. This was an order issued by the commission back in January of 2019, so much more recent. And everyone knows that the new construction of that building, there was a previous parking area that Herb Chambers used for overflow parking that they then changed to have it be a car dealership. So the construction went forward, and the reason why we had to see you folks is across the ramp, the off-ramp from 128, from the southbound ramp, there's a wetland on the far side of the highway. When you extend the buffer zone, it just hit the fringe of the proposed activity. And so there was very little buffer zone activity. That project went off without a hitch. We needed a Mass Highway permit for that project, and as part of that review, Mass Highway asked us not to allow any of our stormwater to enter the highway, even though some was already going there in the existing condition. And so we had to add another stormwater management area. That's where the rain garden comes in, out in the back of the property. We also added a few more chambers to the underground stormwater management area in the back parking lot so that we could prove to the gentleman at MassDOT that we had a zero runoff going from this property to the ramp. They also hit us up for a full as-built of the ramp to help them map their MS4, which apparently they do from time to time. So that being said, we did an as-built, but when we did the as-built, we found that the plantings did not survive in the rain garden. And so after we realized that, we contacted the landscape contractor that takes care of the two properties today, and we instructed them to replant the rain garden, and they actually extended a couple of irrigation heads out to that area to try to help keep those plants alive. Other than that, the rest of the as-built conditions really were very close to the approved plan. We were really happy with the way that project came out.
Thank you. Eileen, anything further on this one?
Nope, as Chris explained, another BVW project. I do think it's a tiny bit ironic, is that the right use of ironic, that they had to add irrigation to the rain garden? But, okay, because it really doesn't get much water. I think that's the point. They've got pretty substantial stormwater management happening. 9 deep sump catch basins and a water quality unit, and 56 Coltex is what it looks like to me. The rain garden was bare when we saw it in June, but they have since added brand new plantings and some topsoil onto the lip where it was kind of worn away. And again, it was the same points as before about we just need to keep receiving inspection reports and not using rock salt. But I have no issues with this project.
All right. Ed, anything? Rob? Sarah?
No.
Indra?
No.
Sadie? Bill?
No.
I have nothing further. Could I have a motion to issue the certificate of compliance for DEP file number 122-619? Second?
Second.
Ed, how do you vote?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
I vote yes, 600. 122-619, certificate has been issued. Now, bonds. All right, tell me about bonds.
Well,
Do you want them back, or can we just distribute them among the commission?
well,
Or keep them as yourselves see fit.
unless Chris is going to correct me, there was a $15,000 bond for 62 Cambridge Street. That would have been an insurance type of bond, which no doubt expired long, long ago. It was the same, I believe, for the boring, the geotechnical one, but that was $2,500 bond, and it would have been an insurance bond that expired long, long ago. We did receive a check of $20,000 for the 619 project, but it appears to be entirely our mistake. We did not deposit it. We have no record of depositing that check, so I can only extend my apologies.
Do they know that it
They
was?
know, well, they know as of
So we're working on trying to verify the status of that check. It's a little complicated right now because of the recent sale,
What?
because of the recent sale of the company, but they're working on it.
we just want them to verify as well at their end that everything's above board. It was a mistake on our part, but it wasn't subterfuge.
Well, I assume if you find that the facts are different and that we did cash a check and we're holding on to it dearly,
Yeah.
that you will come back to the town and ask for the full release.
I think that's a safe assumption. And even if you do find the check, I'm thinking it's so old that you probably aren't going to be able to cash it, so, but,
That's a good point.
yeah.
All right, so there's no further action needed on the bonds.
Correct. We will bring it back to you if there's something to bring back, to clarify.
All right, so I think that concludes our business, folks. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks for
very
your
much.
time. Appreciate it. And, we wanted to thank Eileen. It's been a lot of back and forth over the past month or so, so thank you very much for your attention. So,
No problem. We always like seeing you, Mark.
well, same here. Appreciate it, so thank you.
All right,
Enjoy the summer. What's left of it.
too.
yeah, stay cool. All right, let's see. The next item on our agenda is item 4A, is item 5A. Notice is given, the commission will hold a public meeting during which time we have a request for determination of applicability filed by Siddharth Sempath for removal of 4 trees within the riverfront area in 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetlands. His property is located at 75 Mill Street, and the commission will thereafter issue a determination. The application is being heard under the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington Bylaw Article 14. Okay, and if anyone wants to see a copy of it, you can write to conservation@burlington.org. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please introduce yourself again and your residence, and then you can give a little summary.
Okay. Thank you everyone for taking the time. My name is Siddharth Sampath. I reside at 75 Mill Street, Burlington. I've been living there since December 2023. I started this work originally because I was trying to get solar installed at my residence, but one of the feedback I got from some of the companies that did the assessment was the trees were giving a lot of shade. So I started looking into trimming them or cutting them if there was a possibility. So I had an arborist come by, and that's when I realized that the trees marked in red were potentially a danger or risk of falling in the future per the arborist. And the tree number 4 that I've circled in my image is growing really, really close to my house. So there was a little worry of roots eventually getting too close to the foundation. So my application is to hopefully you guys approve to cut down the 4 trees and replace them with native trees in and around my property. Yeah, I think that's the summary of it.
Very good summary. Okay, thank you. All right, Eileen or Lucy, comments, please.
Okay, this one's me because Sid and I have been exchanging emails, and I went out to look at the trees. So 3 of the trees are on the stream bank, and they are indeed in really quite poor shape. They're, I think it is absolutely reasonable that they would come down. One of them is, but this is part of the reason why we brought it in front of you rather than just making this something administrative. One of them is a Dutch elm, so we wanted to make sure it was, clearly stated that that one should, it's got Dutch elm disease, that the bark should be peeled off as we found in a very recent filing, and disposed of. And then in order to keep the bank stable, we should maintain stumps or snags. I wasn't sure about the volunteer maple that's beside the house. I mean, it's in okay shape. There's nothing really wrong with it except for that pestilence you noted yesterday. Fungus that Larry noted. But it's not a preferred tree. It's considered invasive. So I think it would be I wouldn't be opposed to removing it and replacing it with native trees. And they're definitely open to native trees. They had some suggestions, and they're open as well to feedback on alternative options.
All right, Bill, what do you think about this one?
I agree with exactly what was stated. The first 3 trees are all in serious condition and are likely to come down on their own soon, so they should be removed, leaving stumps to not disturb the bank. The 4th tree is a Norway maple, which is not a very acceptable tree. It is invasive, and its progeny will be all over the protected areas, so it definitely should be removed.
All right, Sadie, any comments on this one? All right, Indra, anything further?
No, from the picture, I see that it's in bad shape, the trees.
Yep, they are.
So it should.
That's correct.
I don't have any objection.
Yeah, they're in tough shape.
Yeah.
Sarah?
I have no concerns.
All right. Rob, anything?
No, I agree with Bill and
And Ed? Yeah, I agree. Obviously, we should talk a little bit about replanting and give you a little bit of guidance on that. And I would like to see, these are big trees. I would like to see substantial sized trees planted, the typical, maybe 8 to 10 feet, somewhere around that range. That's would be my request. The other commissioners can state something different if they would like. And it's important that we have at least a 1-to-1 replacement. I thought there was quite a bit of shade on the brook. So I'm
Some of the shade is provided by those 3 trees.
yeah.
It's a little bit of a tricky one. It was
a little
right
bit-
in there because you've also got those, is that are the yew bushes, the
hedge.
very dense hedge
Yeah.
in there?
Let's see what the others say.
Right.
Indra?
Yeah, I understand about the shading, but the thing is, if the tree is in bad shape, it might fall anytime.
Right.
So that time,
You
what we do
mean
or what the owner
A
does.
replacement. He's talking about just.
I'm talking about replacements, whether we need more than one-to-one there. I don't know if we do. I'm throwing
Well, I
out.
think it would be a tight squeeze to get more than one or two in there if we're leaving the stumps in place.
Right,
And I think you have to leave the stumps in place because they're literally holding the bank in place.
right, right.
I don't mind the smaller size too.
Well, that's up to you. Sarah, what do you think?
I think maybe replacing the 3 big ones with 2 8 to 10 foot would be reasonable.
Okay, all right, and Rob?
Yeah, I think so too. I sort of agree with what Indra and Sarah said too, with like, at least for the bank, we might not want to like overly disturb the bank by putting maybe a large tree in there. So if there's something by the bank, it's maybe something that would, that's maybe a judgment call.
Okay, Ed? All right, my suggestion is we should ask for a one-to-one replacement if there's a problem because there's no room or there's some other issue, site-specific issue, they can contact the office.
Did I recall that you actually offered to put in 6?
Yeah, because we had bought a bunch of trees, so I was like, I can put
He
them all in.
actually had offered to put in a few more, but I was thinking that way, if he wants to put in some more, they could be smaller trees. Like-
Right.
What did you suggest? Was redwood one of the ones you suggested? The black cherry, that's relatively small.
Okay.
So there's a couple of smaller ones. I think he could mix and match them maybe if he's going to add some more, as long as they're native.
That sounds good. That sounds
But 4 at a minimum.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I guess we're in agreement. Okay, is there anyone else have a comment on this? This is 75 Mill Street. I don't see it. Let's review the draft document
Do you
and
want me
then
to hear it?
vote on it.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for you. Wasn't ready for it. Let me just get, I didn't realize I was going to share the document. Give me 1 second, and I will have that
Okay.
ready to go. Here we go. Right, you might just make it bigger while I'm talking, if you don't mind. Okay, so the applicant proposed to cut 4 trees at 74 Mill Street within the inner riverfront area and 100-foot buffer zone to bank. Wetland resource areas weren't delineated, but we could see exactly where the stream was. A landscape professional provided a letter expressing concern regarding the poor health and proximity of the trees to the house. In fact, he wasn't just a landscaping professional, he actually was a certified arborist, I believe, right?
Yes.
Might just change that. I'll just fix that there later. The commission voted to waive the 20-foot no disturb setback. We forgot about that. We should do that. So this is only for the project as described. Sid did get a copy earlier. The applicant may proceed with 4 tree removals. Removal of any other trees will require additional approval from the commission and might require submission of a written assessment by a certified arborist. For tree trimmings or removals that are not feasible to do by hand, machinery such as a bucket truck or crane should be located in the driveway or in the lawn, not right by the stream.
Okay.
4, at least, a minimum of 4 native non-cultivar trees shall be planted on site as replacements for the vegetation removed. Larry wants, you would like to say specifically 8 to 10 foot trees.
8 to 10-foot trees, those are big enough to be a good-sized tree, but not so big that it's likely to fail. You don't want to put in too big of a tree because it may not survive.
Oh, okay.
And then if you want to put in something additional, it could be smaller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Species should be determined in consultation with staff. We have already been doing some talking. I know what he kind of wants to put in. At least 3, we're saying no. We're going to say 2 of the trees should be planted close to the stream to provide shading and a no disturb buffer. Trees that fail to survive within 2 growing seasons shall be replaced. The trees on the bank shall be cut so that a snag or stump remains. As much material shall be left as is deemed safe by the supervising arborist. Thought that was reasonable. The bark shall be stripped from the stump or snag of the tree that appears to be infested with Dutch elm disease. That bark shall be disposed of as trash, not in yard waste. Don't dump sediment, debris, or lawn clippings but that should say wetlands or stream. Pesticides, herbicides, fungicides should not be used within 100 feet of the wetlands or stream unless approved by the commission. And we, members of the commission or staff, may just check on the tree cutting as it's happening, basically.
All right, Bill, you have anything further on this?
No, I do not.
Anyone on the commission have anything further? Sadie, anyone? No. All right, could I have a motion, issue a negative conditional determination, as it was stated, for the project at 75 Mill Street under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 in the State Wetlands Protection Act? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Ed, how do you vote? Yes. Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And I vote yes, 600. That one passes. You're all set.
20-foot
Thank you so
waiver?
much. And I want to thank Eileen for all her help.
Oh, you're welcome. The 20-foot no disturb waiver, just because, did we already do it?
No, we didn't. Do we need a 20?
Let's just do it.
Okay. Could I have a motion to issue that we have a 20-foot no disturb zone right along the stream, and we need a waiver to allow these folks to work within that 20 feet of the buffer? Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Second? Ed?
Se-
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And I vote yes, 600. The waiver is granted.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're all set. Very nice to meet you. Good luck with the project.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to send around a batch of things to be signed, all the COCs and that last,
All right, that's fine. Okay, next. Item 5B, notice is given. The commission will hold a public meeting, during which time we have another request for determination filed by Matthew Lewandowski for the removal of a deck and construction of a new deck within riverfront area and the buffer to bordering vegetative wetlands. The project is located at 6 Sewell Street, and we will thereafter issue a determination. The application is being heard under the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington's Bylaw, Article 14. And you may obtain a copy of the application, again, by writing to conservation@burlington.org. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Matt Lewandowski. I reside at 6 Sewell Street, Burlington, Massachusetts. The project I'm looking to do is remove a deck that's approximately 16 by 16 feet, move it to a little bit to the side of the house, construct a smaller deck, roughly 12 by 10 feet. That's about it. It's within the 200 feet buffer from a riverfront or waterfront area.
Very straightforward. Yes, okay. Eileen, any concerns over this one, or Lucy?
this is the Lucy one?
Yeah, this one came in front of us just because I get a lot of building permits and I do a quick desktop analysis. And so I sent a message saying you will need a permit for this through conservation, as it is, as I think it says, roughly 136 feet away from a regulatory stream. I will say what is funny is we got out on site and we realized there is a big berm between your house and the stream. So still within the regulatory area, but I will say one thing is that in this case, we are not super concerned about erosion controls, as we do not feel the sediment will flow into the,
Up and over the berm?
I think it might be okay. Like,
Okay, thanks. Bill, any comment on this one? Bill?
oh, you're muted, Bill.
There we go. I have no comment on this.
Sadie, anything on this? Indra?
So I understand the existing deck, the new deck would be smaller than the.
Yes, yes.
And Sarah?
No concerns.
And Rob? Nope. And Ed? I have no further concerns. Anybody on the audience have anything on this? This is 6 Sewell Street? No? Then do we have a draft document to take a quick look at?
Yes. And he did get a copy of this, is that right?
Yes. I did get a copy earlier.
Did you get a copy of this?
Yes, Eileen.
Okay.
This is a really straightforward permit with not a whole lot in it, which is lovely for you and for us. It specifies that this permits the removal of a 16 by 16 foot deck and the construction of a new 12 by 10 foot deck, approximately 135 feet from a stream regulated under the local bylaw. It is within the 200 foot riverfront area. The commission votes to issue a negative determination.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing.
For the work at 6 Sewell. This work is just for the deck as described above. No other work is permitted by this decision. Anything else would need a new permit. No removal of trees or shrubs, alteration of naturally vegetated areas, etc. is permitted by this decision. All materials and excavated soil shall be disposed of off-site in a legal manner. No tracking of sediments onto public roadways shall be allowed. Again, small project, probably not going to happen, but don't let it happen. There shall be no filling or grading of the property under this decision. Again, if you're going to do something like that, you'll need another permit. This just gives us the right to come and check out the project, and that is the whole of it.
All right, Bill, do you have anything further on the permit?
No, it looks fine.
All right, anyone else on the commission have any issues with what you just heard? Apparently not. All right, could I have a motion to issue a negative conditional determination for the project at 6 Sewell Street under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 and the State Wetlands Protection Act? Is there a motion? Second?
Second.
Okay, Ed, how do you vote?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
And Bill?
Yes.
And I vote yes. 600, this motion is approved. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in. Okay.
I didn't realize I was making noise until you went, what?
Okay, so here is this. All right, so next we're on item 5C. Notice is given, the commission will hold a public meeting during which time a request for determination of applicability is filed by Amber Haynes for the construction of a swimming pool within the riverfront area and 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetlands located at 26 Park Drive in Burlington, and will thereafter issue a determination. The application is being heard under the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington Bylaw Article 14, and you may write to conservation@burlington.org if you would like a copy. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Nice to see you again after yesterday.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so what you do is you introduce yourself and who you're with, and you state your address so the record has it, and then you can tell your story.
Thank you. Amber Haynes and Joyce Haynes, we both live at 26 Park Drive in Burlington. And we put in a request to do a above-ground pool, 24-foot, and we installed the pool, and you saw that yesterday.
Okay, so the record should show that this is an application after the fact. The project was installed, and they hadn't really come before us for the actual permit, so this is an after-the-fact filing. Eileen, would you like to comment?
It's actually Lucy's one.
Lucy, would you like to comment on this one?
Mostly, what have I written down? This pool is within, I think I said 60 feet from the BVW and about 150 feet from a regulatory stream. That's kind of up in the air based on...
It's very likely closer to the BVW.
It might be closer to the BVW based on some of our other maps that we found. This was just some desktop analysis that I might have gotten the numbers wrong on, but either way, it is within a couple of our regulatory areas, which puts this project in front of us here today. We did find out yesterday on the site visit that the pool is already in place, which does make the visualization a lot easier for where it's going to go.
That's the downside.
Oh, I mean, now we know exactly how close to the fence is going to go. But that is most of what I had to say. The only other thought I had was this was put in under an RDA because there was a historical filing for an adjacent property that also had an above-ground pool at one point in history that was filed under an RDA within a similar or closer distance to the wetland and stream. So that's where I'm at. But as
Do
far
you have any concerns regarding what you saw out there?
No large concerns. My only questions are regarding whether or not the commission had opinions on the...
Regarding what?
If the commission had any opinions regarding the lawn clippings.
Well, we will find out, won't we?
Yes, and that was what I was going to raise, and that's all.
Okay. All right, so let's go around and see if people have comments on this one. Bill, we'll start with you.
No, the pool looks fine. It's a big, above-ground pool. It's impressive. And I don't have any other comments.
All right, Ed?
Nothing new.
Rob?
Nope.
Sarah?
No.
Indra?
Nope.
Sadie?
No.
All right. Let's talk about the wetland behind. I noticed sand and clumps, piles of stuff, and actually, you're not supposed to do that. Okay?
Okay, so we'll definitely have all of that removed. We actually don't go back there very often.
Right.
So we will be more vigilant of that and get all of that removed
So
prior
if we
to.
put that in writing, you don't have an issue with it because you just volunteered to do it?
Yes. I will.
Okay, good.
ASAP.
Excellent. That works. All right. Do we need anything further other than removing the dump sand and the grass clippings and, or any trash if it's in there? I wasn't quite sure.
I don't know, do you mind if I?
Please.
This, it went in place before they had any permits, so you didn't actually have a chance to say anything about it. Are you okay with it just being as is, or do you want anything else, other than just the removal of the material? Would you have asked for anything else that would come in front of you, like any trees? I mean, they have a really substantial wooded area behind them,
Right.
so,
I suspect if they remove it down to the natural level,
okay.
that the area will revegetate and probably left to go natural. I suspect. But I mean, I suppose we can drive down the street sometime, and if something's wrong with it, we could knock on the door and talk to you about it, obviously. But I would,
So you don't think anything else is
well, I'm just saying,
in the yard?
just a personal opinion, I don't know what the other commissioners think. I would expect it to revegetate when it's down to level.
Okay, I didn't really mean that area, I just meant within the yard. It does kind of seem overkill in that they've a very, very wooded area behind.
Right, right, I don't, I mean, I guess unless the commission has some other interest that they would like to see done in the yard, the pool kind of ended up where it would have ended up if you had done it properly, to be honest with you. All right. If there's nothing for, anyone else have any comment on this? This one is 26 Park Drive.
Everything looks like
Nobody?
good to go.
All right, again, we have a draft document to
We had-
issue.
Sorry, we actually, I was just going to say, we hadn't shared this with Amber just because I wasn't sure we weren't sure how the discussion was going to go tonight.
Do we have a copy to give her so she can look at it? You can have mine. How's that?
That's a nice.
I would be happy to share. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Here we go. Basically,
No, Mom, we're still staying.
Oh.
She can't hear that.
here you go.
It's nice to have got the doors open. Makes it easier.
Pass through.
Basically, what this process is, Amber, is we issue a few conditions that basically says if you adhere to these conditions, we don't expect there to be a problem with the wetlands. And in your situation, it's highly unlikely, so it's a very simple document.
Okay.
All right. So very similar to the last permit in the way that it is short and sweet. This,
Sorry, this bit that we have to just
oh,
fix.
that's totally my bad. I will highlight that.
Neither of us saw it.
Yeah.
We'll just fix a couple of tiny
That
things.
is my bad. I will fix that later. This describes the installation of a 24-foot diameter circular above-ground pool. This work occurred approximately 60 feet from a boarding vegetated wetland and 150 feet from a stream regulated under the local bylaw. There was a note put in that this pool was installed without a permit. Let's see if I scroll down. Much like before, this decision is for work as outlined in the project description above. Anything else will need a different permit. No removal of trees or shrubs or alteration of naturally vegetated areas is permitted by this decision. All construction and demo materials and excavated soil shall be disposed of off-site in a legal manner. As far as I'm concerned, the site looked decently, oh, Larry's disappeared, decently set up for success. The grass will regrow where it's all good, so you should be good there. No tracking and segments on a public roadway shall be allowed. We didn't see that, you're all set. There should be no filling or grading of property under this decision. There wasn't any, do not proceed to do any more. This says that sand and lawn clippings shall be, or currently behind the fence shall be removed. It is in addition to the debris, sediment, and lawn clippings and landscape materials should not be dumped in vegetated wetlands. Any trash or debris that fall into the wetlands shall be immediately removed by hand, and that you are responsible for doing that. And this again is that stipulation that we can check out the project as it goes on. I will tell you right here, the project has happened. So we will probably not need to come and check it out beyond eventually a drive-by to see that the lawn clippings and sand have been removed. In which case, that would be like, great. But other than that, that is all we have here.
All right, I heard every word, it was fine.
Every single word, yeah.
I just adjusted the fan, it's so hot in here. The fan was down the hall doing almost nothing, so if we can stand the noise.
Kind of thought it might just send some into the open doors.
Yeah. Well, I haven't, I put the door partially closed to block most of the noise. So, we'll see.
Okay, it's nice ambient noise.
All right, do you have any questions at all?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you guys so much, and I appreciate it. And that was my first mistake as a newer homeowner.
It probably won't be your last mistake. Okay, so I think you're all set. Enjoy the pool.
You have to vote. Did you vote?
What? Oh,
We didn't vote.
sorry. All right. All right, did anybody have any comments on the proposed draft?
No.
Okay, could I have a motion to issue a negative conditional determination for the project at 26 Park Drive? Second? Second. Ed, how do you vote? Yes. Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
And we'll go to Bill.
Yes.
And I vote yes, so we have a 6-0 vote. You're all set, Amber.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time.
Sure thing. Have a good evening. All right, next, let's see. We're going to skip down to number 5D. Notice is given. The commission will hold a public meeting during which time we have a request for determination of applicability filed by Ronan Drury for the proposed installation of a well within a 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetlands located at 310 Cambridge Street, and we will thereafter issue a determination. The application is being heard pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and Burlington Bylaw, Article 14. And again, you may obtain a copy by going to conservation@burlington.org. Good evening, folks.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, so why don't you introduce yourselves, who you're affiliated with, or live, or
Absolutely.
whatever, and then you can talk.
So my name is Kimberly Rodriguez. This is Mark. We are here on behalf of Mr. Doherty, which is the owner of New York Capital Investment Group. We submitted a request for determination of applicability in order to build a commercial well in our Prestige Car Wash location in Burlington, 310 Cambridge Street. As a company, we're fully committed with using the water sustainably and wisely. And every time we think about building a well in any of our locations, we have the exact 3 goals. So,
So are you an employee of the applicant?
correct.
You are, and you are too?
No,
No,
I'm with Hydrotech Pump Company.
you're with the well drilling type of company.
I'm representing the driller, yes.
Got it. Okay, just wanted to be clear. Yep. Sure, thank you.
All right, so every time we think about building a well in any of our locations, we have 3 goals. They are basic. The first one would be kind of reduce the environmental footprint by recycling the water, and additionally, reducing the amount of treated water, because obviously for our car wash operations, we don't necessarily need drinking water. The second one is for irrigation. We like to maintain our green spaces looking good. And the third one, which is pretty easy, to refill our tanks. For the ones that are not very familiar with the car wash operations, we do recycle the water, but every time we service like dump trucks or regular trucks, they do take water with them. So besides the cost of the water that they are making us lose, we still get charged for the sewer on that water that actually never went into the sewer system.
Right, of course.
Yeah. So with that said, I believe it is my understanding that yesterday there was a site visit at the location. We would love to build to get this granted, and we are willing to accomplish any requirements you may have in regards the amount of gallons that you would like us to use per day and that kind of thing. And happy to hear your comments. And he's the smart guy for the technical questions. So we'll be here.
Okay, do you have anything you want to add at all?
Just that it's going to be a private commercial well serving the car wash and the property. I know Eileen had some concerns about the wetlands.
Right.
And I've worked on numerous sites that we were right next to the wetlands, and the wetlands aren't typically affected in the future because we're not looking for surface water. We're looking for it's going to be a bedrock well. So we're looking for underground water. Usually, we prevent any spoils or anything from entering the wetlands, whether it be silt fence or, hay bales or a sock or anything like that, just to prevent any contamination. But other than that, we don't believe that it should affect the wetlands. I mean, we can't guarantee that, but again, the casing usually seals off the surface water, so.
All right, okay, so let's see where this goes, and let's talk about it a bit.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Eileen or Lucy, do you have some comments or concerns about this one?
I do have some concerns about it. We have not had a well drilling application before us in the time that I've been here.
Yeah.
This is so I had to ask a few other experts for feedback on this. This is a fairly substantial withdrawal. This is 50 gallons per minute. So this isn't just like an irrigation well here. This is a substantial amount of water. A bedrock well, my understanding is it goes down, you're looking for a fissure, and then you're taking from that. However, the thing is, they don't know, and we don't know right now, how those fissures are connected to the surface water. This is the headwaters of the Ipswich River. So I did reach out to the Ipswich River Watershed Association, and they sent a letter to the commission. I didn't think to forward it to you, I'm sorry. It was to the commission, but I will forward it to you as well. They pointed out how the Ipswich River is depleted, that groundwater wells can be connected to surface water, and that they would suggest that if the commission approves the well, that they would require ongoing monitoring. I had the same sort of feedback from the DEP circuit rider. And then a well like this requires a permit from the Board of Health. They have not yet applied for their permit from the Board of Health. Christine Mathis reached out to them within the last day or so, maybe just yesterday.
Correct.
Asking them to apply, and they might well ask them for further geotechnical sorts of information. So it's up to you, however you want to go, but my recommendation would be that we do not approve this tonight,
Right.
especially not at this particular location where the red dot is. That's their preferred location. That either you issue a positive determination and that require them to come back with a notice of intent, or you at least just continue it until they've dealt with the Board of Health as well. That would be my suggestion.
Okay.
But Mark might have some more answers.
Let's go see what everyone else has to say, and let's just list the issues and then see where this goes.
Okay.
Okay? Ed, would you have a question or a comment or a concern?
Not at this time.
What's that?
Not at this time.
We can go back if something occurs to you. Okay? Rob?
I guess maybe two concerns. One with the I guess how the wells relates to the groundwater level, because I'm familiar with the wetlands next to there, and I think occasionally it would be 2 or 3 feet deep. I think like there's standing water in there. And then there's possible hydric connectivity, looks like a little bit across the street. I'm not sure if they're related.
What are you talking about?
So-
What is across the street?
I think I looked at a subsurface hydric connectivity table in Mass Mapper, and it sort of lists this particular area and a little bit of the portion across the street, I think near the church, the Presbyterian church, is listed as, I think, a high flow rate, subsurface flow rate there. So that's sort of, just sort of maybe understanding a little better how the water absorption
the well-
relates to the ground.
The level of the water in the well relates to the groundwater, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
All right.
one more thing too, I think, so at least with the proximity of the well to the property lines, is that if this is an RDA, we don't have a butter notification directly as we
Right.
wouldn't in an NOI.
That's
as well,
true.
right? Yes, but sort of, I'm not too, with this, because, I haven't really had much experience with the well drilling, but possibly how that might
All right.
impact the resource area in the
All right.
abutting property.
All right, Sarah.
I have several questions, and they don't really fit in a theme, just information gathering at this point. That particular location has been a car wash before it was Prestige. Our family used to go to it when it was named Rebecca and Teresa, the 2 bays, and enjoyed riding through it. Why now? It's operated as a car wash for years. Why is there an urgency to get a well now? My immediate suspicion is you want to get something for free what you used to pay for. Maybe you can help me flesh out that idea.
So they own, at this point, about 55 locations, and we are trying to implement a well on each of them. Additionally, we're trying to go like green or a little bit more friendly with the environmental. They have changed a ton of things, like the kind of soaps and things like that, and this is like part of it.
So this is better for the environment, you'd make the argument? That
Yes, yes, we do. We do think so.
Help me understand why? It's not obvious to me immediately why.
A couple of things. So, as I mentioned before, we are not using the treated water that people from the community can actually
Sure.
use it. The other thing is this will allow us to recycle water. We do have a whole system, and at least for the portion when the car goes into the tunnel, we do not use new water every time. We do use it for rinse, like to get rid of the soap and stuff. But in the beginning, is pretty much the same water. So as I said, we do get charged for the sewer. So it's like a way to make it up for the water that is being stole from the car washes when they leave with water in them.
Okay, well, I guess I don't see why that's what the environment, I mean, recycling the water sounds great. That sounds like a really good idea, as much as possible. I mean, your dishwasher starts out by using the same gross water, same idea. But I don't see what that has to do with a well. Like, where the water comes from doesn't really to how it's implemented, the details of the wash.
Anything we do cause anything humans do cause some kind of contamination. In fact, treating the water to make it drinkable does cause some type of contamination. We do believe that by using the resource only for washing the cars, and obviously this has nothing to do with the drinking water that we use in the location because we still have employees and stuff like that. We do believe we're doing a better job by recycling that water than the one that comes already treated that has used some pumps to get it there and everything that the municipal water system uses to get us the water to our location.
Okay.
Anything else?
Let's see. How many gallons per minute do you envision using as compared to a residential well? I'm just curious. Is this like 10 times more, sucking more than if somebody just had a well in their backyard for their home?
Yeah, probably 10 times
10
more.
times?
Standard is 5 gallons a minute for a residential setting for 4 hours, 1,200 gallons in a day.
Okay, and finally, does the well make a noise for abutters? Because it's got to have a machine running. Does it make a hum?
No.
Who live near there are going to notice?
No, it's just an existing 7-inch steel piece of pipe with a cap on top. Or it doesn't even have to be, it can be right at grade, you know, so.
Something that's like making the water under.
Well, the pump is going to be down inside, a submersible pump that's
Okay.
going to be down in the well itself, so there'll be no noise. Although I've had concerns where in another community, and in an irrigation setting, they didn't want to put the controller because they wanted to keep everything outside. So the controller, because of the LED lights on it, could bother the neighbors. But the well itself makes no noise, it just sits there.
Okay, that's all for me.
Yep.
All right, Indra, anything else?
Yes, right now we don't know what kind of impact it might have. So I think we have to explore a little bit more. And as Aline says that we should wait for Board of Health's comments. And if needed, then we'll go for notice of intent
All right,
to find out details.
Sadie?
No, I agree with what Sarah said.
Bill?
I have a couple questions. What is the current water use per day for this facility? Or a week or a month, I mean, whatever unit you have.
50 gallons a minute was the demand that I was told, so times 1 hour is 3,000, times 24 hours. I don't know if it's open 24 hours, is it?
No.
No. So,
The drive-through part is, right? The drive-through part is open 24, not the
Not the Burlington.
the self-service part, I think, is, yeah.
okay.
But, my question is, how much water are you using now? And basically, how much do you anticipate the savings? Because do you not recycle now?
We do. Obviously, we have the tank installed right now, so we do recycle that water that is coming from the city.
Okay, so you're doing recycling now, and you'll continue to do recycling with the
With the well.
pump, with the well. Because I have a positive feeling about this, because to me, the water you're using right now is a considerable amount of water coming from the public water supply.
Correct.
And it does indeed come from the Shawshene River or the MWRA water sources. So by you using your own well, you will be not using that water supply, not drawing down from our water tanks, and more water will be available to the residents.
To the community.
So I like that aspect of it. I'm just curious whether you would be using less water or more water with your new pump, but you're not changing the actual water handling within the car wash, you're just changing the source.
Correct.
Correct.
Is that, okay, so that is correct. Okay, it just seems like the 50 gallons a minute is a lot if you're recycling the water. And no, I don't think 50 gallons a minute is leaving with the vehicles that drive away wet. It seems like a lot to be using constantly for something that claims to be an efficient water recycling operation. And at the end of recycling the water, I mean, at some point the water can't be usable anymore because it must get dirty.
Yes.
Where does it go? Does it then get just expelled into the sewer system?
That is
Correct.
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
I just
Yeah, so my understanding, we'd still have to figure out whether we expect any kind of impact on the adjacent wetland or resource areas of the river that this would drain to, but right now, I think you're definitely taking water from the Shawshene River in the way you're doing operations. That's my feeling.
that's we're going to take
Good. Good. All right, Bill, is that it?
That's it.
All right.
If I may,
Yeah, sure.
I think one of the biggest considerations that you folks are talking about is the surface water, the wetlands, right? And again, we're looking for groundwater in the bedrock layer. Now, there may be, we don't know how they're connected hydraulically.
That's
okay?
correct.
We
That is
don't.
correct.
But the fact that they're surface waters and they stay on the surface would suggest that they're not percolating down into the ground immediately, if at all, or slowly. Okay?
Let me offer you a few comments.
Sure.
I want to address exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
First of all, I would say that the alternative location for the well is about 75 feet. Is it something like that, 50 feet, maybe?
Oh, it was definitely more than 50. I believe.
75.
There were two,
To the
other.
wetland, from the wetland to that alternative
Only saw one.
site. It struck me maybe, I'm just guessing, it doesn't matter, okay?
Yep.
This is a wooded swamp. It's actually rather unique in Burlington because we don't have a lot of examples of actually wooded swamps. It's a unique kind of wetland ecosystem. And withdrawal of water from a bedrock well could, I'm not saying will,
Right.
could, okay, be detrimental to the wooded swamp hydrology.
Okay,
It could, we don't know yet.
that's correct.
Okay. Many wetlands, including wooded swamps, they do rely on groundwater for their water supply, especially during drier periods. Okay, I mean, they do. And when you pump and there's a cone of depression lowering the water table, it can become hydraulically connected if that's what happens, if the cone of depression affects the, into the, close to the wetland. A lot of things come into it. You have to have, the soil characteristics, the geology, the depth of the well, the pumping rate and duration, all of that is reason why it's complicated. However, the first thing is a couple of things I would say. First thing is, I think the fact that we haven't been able to notify, this process doesn't notify the neighbors is a problem. I think that's a significant problem. It's a large pumping well, and I think this should have been a notice of intent.
So we did file with all the abutters. We served every abutter. There were 25.
That's fine. I'm just saying, normally, something like this that could affect a wetland like this, since it's unknown, usually comes under a notice of intent, and in addition to the abutters. And normally, we would get an opinion by a hydrogeologist, and I would think the Board of Health should ask for this, okay, or we can ask for this, an opinion by a hydrogeologist to look at the existing information, look at how far down you're going, and give an opinion. It may not be 100% without doing a lot of additional work. I'm not saying they necessarily have to do that, but I think from an experienced hydrogeologist, we should probably get an opinion on whether that the pumping of this well could affect the hydrology in that swamp, because it's possible. You can't say it's not. And the other thing is, one of the first levels of understanding is the groundwater up gradient of the wetland or down gradient of the wetland? Obviously, if you're down gradient of the wetland, then you're all set.
Right.
Okay? If you're up gradient, then that says, well, that continues that it might be possible. So I think we need more information. It's the type of information where a wetland might be affected. You would do it under a notice of intent. I mean, I would be in favor of seeing them refile for a notice of intent, personally. If the commission or you, Eileen, and you, I should say, feel that you want to continue with this process the way it is, as we get into some technical details, then, okay, the commission, we can overrule it. If, 'cause I'm only voicing one opinion. But if you feel that the process should be under a notice of intent, then you need to state that, okay? But I think we need more information, because that it is entirely possible that water withdrawal from a bedrock well that's 75 feet from the wetland could potentially be detrimental to the hydrology of the wooded swamp. And until we get a little bit more assurance that that's probably not the case, at least that much assurance, then I think there's an issue here to resolve. Anyone like to comment on anything I tried to say? Anybody on the commission? Bill?
Yes, I agree with a lot of the things you said. It was well described. And one of the advantages of the NOI would be, even though the applicants say that they have notified the abutters, to my knowledge, none of them showed up at the meeting. They may not even know there was a meeting tonight. So NOI would notify the abutters and inform them that there was a public hearing available for them to express their concerns.
And they can give testimony under the public hearing format.
Correct. And the other thing is, if it's the style of underground water that does have a cone of depression, even though the wetland is a certain distance away, some of the abutters may be closer than that and be concerned about the effects on their groundwater and their plantings, you know. So I think they would have a right to come and listen and have comments.
Okay. Anyone else? Sadie, anything on this? No. Indra, anything?
Yeah, same thing, I agree with you, as I mentioned before, that we don't know the impacts, so we have to find out before we come to any conclusion. So I don't know how we can change that from RDA to notice of intent. And
You just issue a positive determination, which basically states that they require,
oh, I see.
in order to go forward, this would require a notice of intent.
And there's also the additional comments from the Ipswich River watershed.
Right, and they actually also sent me this that I was just sharing, but that we didn't talk to, which is basically just saying what you said. It's possible that there could be a cone of depression that affects it, but we just don't know for sure. And it could be that there's a confining layer that means that it's not,
Sure.
which is kind of what...
Or not immediately, anyways.
Right. So it's just
I mean,
that
it doesn't mean
don't
that...
have quite enough
that-
information.
It doesn't mean that a well 75 feet from the wetland automatically causes harm, but the potential for harm doesn't exist until we know a little bit more information.
Well, I'm also just more concerned that their ideal one is the one that's only 25 feet, and that's really quite close.
Right, right. So,
So we would feel comfortable if we hear from any expert, you know.
well, I think I'm looking for a decision by the commission, how they feel. We can issue a positive determination instead of a negative one, and that means there's enough open questions that they should go to a notice of intent. That's all it means. All right? And I think we should have input from the Board of Health, and I assume, Eileen, you will have a conversation with the appropriate staff over there about this?
Yep, we will be.
The other thing is, the Ipswich River Watershed Association, because the Ipswich River is one of the most endangered watersheds because of substantial withdrawal more than the stream can hold, the question exists, could this have a detriment to the Ipswich River and its watershed? Having said that, we are at the fringe, we are at the headwaters, and that means very small streams only contribute. We're not in the middle of it. We're sort of right at the beginning where little streams contribute to the watershed. And the amount of surface area, land area that Burlington contributes is relatively small, since most of our land mass in Burlington is from the Shawshene River watershed, which is different. So I don't know the answer to that, but that point has to be considered as well. My reaction is it probably isn't too significant, but I just don't know.
Larry, I have one more question too, if I may.
You're absolutely, go ahead, Bill.
I'm still concerned about, or still intrigued by how much water this facility uses from the town water supply on a regular basis, on their water bill. I know you said 50 gallons a minute is what the well's going to provide, but you're not using 50 gallons a minute constantly. I assume, if I understand the process correctly, that when you wash a car, you're drawing that from your tanks, which have been recycled. And that you'd only be drawing from the well or the town supply to refill the tanks from time to time. Is that correct?
Correct. So I don't necessarily have the number to give you today right now. However, we had a very similar situation in one of our locations in Boston, and they were concerned about the wetlands around it. Their way of preventing any damage to the environmental was to install a kind of meter on a well to regulate the amount of water that we will be using from the well. We are not expecting to have the well specifically for all our car wash operations. We can mix both. Anyway, even if it is a little bit, it will still help.
Well, my question is not related to the environmental. My question is not related to the environmental concerns. It's trying to figure out how much of a benefit you're doing by not drawing on the town water supply. You know, how many gallons per billing period are you now going to save us from needing to provide you?
Okay.
And to me, that's a benefit that would, need to be weighed, as well as some of the potential risks.
Got it.
All right. Well, I think, let me go to my right. Sarah, do you have anything further on this? Because I started with the left.
The fact that this is happening at all prestige locations makes me think this must be fundamentally a business decision to save money, and I'm having a hard time getting my head around. It sounds like you're trying to draw from a common free resource instead of paying for a resource, but we all end up paying cost just very, very spread out over many people who have a drier Ipswich River, whatever bad things may happen to the wooded swamps. That's why I have an inherent resistance to this idea, so I would like to know more. I would feel happier if we knew more. I'm leaning towards the positive RDA, I guess.
Rob?
I think I'd, possibly like input from a
Hydrogeologist.
Yeah, hydrogeologist.
Ed, how do you feel?
Nothing new.
Nothing new. All right. Eileen or Lucy, anything further to add before I ask for motion?
Nothing new, nope.
Could I have a motion to issue a positive determination for the project at 310 Cambridge Street?
So moved.
Second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, Ed, I got a call. Ed?
Yes.
Rob? Sarah? Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Okay, and I vote yes by a vote of 6-0-0. The project proposed at 310 Cambridge Street has been voted a positive determination to have the project move forward. Okay? So now everything that I'll just caveat everything that we talked about. We'll have to re-talk about all these things if you file the notice of intent, number one. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the answers to the concerns cannot be solved either. I'm not sure I really heard that either. So it's just going to take a little bit more time, and we'll get there.
Good.
Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good night.
I'm sending this round for signing. At the moment, we just kind of automatically made it a negative one, just to get something ready. But we're going to be changing it tomorrow morning to say positive. But that's what you're signing, even though it's not what it, okay? I just wanted to clarify. It may not be what it looks like, but it will be in a few hours.
So it's a matter of trust.
It's a matter of trust.
Signing a lot.
And apparently,
I'm sorry.
we keep people.
Can we get that, we'll get that in writing?
Yes.
I take it?
Yes.
All right.
You will.
Terrific, thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your
You'll
time
receive that-
and patience.
Thank you.
You'll receive it next, it'll be available on paper next week, and you can, I can send you the PDF, and then you can decide whether you're going to move forward with a further application at that time.
All right.
But I would suggest you work with the Board of Health in the meantime on their.
We only applied here first because in the process with the Board of Health, you folks were ahead of them.
Okay.
That's why.
Well, we'll probably.
Not because you like us
do it
better.
together
Well,
in this case.
that was according to
Okay.
their application.
Okay.
So, thank you very much.
Thanks for your time, folks. Okay. Notice is given, the Town of Burlington Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing, during which time we'll take information related to a notice of intent filed by JDBA Realty LLC for the demolition of a dwelling and construction of a new dwelling at 11 Lexington Street in Burlington. And the proposed work would be within the 100-foot buffer zone to isolated vegetative wetlands pursuant to issuing an order of conditions and a Burlington wetlands permit. The application may be viewed on the link on the website for 11 Lexington Street. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Jonathan Langone. I am the owner, the owner of 11 Lexington Street.
Sure.
Tonight, like Larry had said, we had submitted for a notice of intent due to the fact that there's a wetland in the back rear of the property. The wetland is not connected to any other wetlands, so it is just a jurisdictional wetland, and it's not regulated under Mass DEP. It's just under the Burlington Wetland Protection Act. So the proposed property, or the proposed dwelling, is approximately 43 feet from the wetland. The driveway will be, I don't have that one, I believe it's about 32 feet from the wetland. All the roof runoff will be collected in recharge areas. Along with the driveway, we'll also have a stone trench along the driveway to collect all the driveway runoff as well. And I believe that's it.
Okay, that was a brief summary. Okay, good. All right. Eileen Olusi, 11 Lexington Street, do you have some comments?
Yes, this project, as Jonathan said, is by law only, as it is an isolated wetland. One thing that we did note is that the isolated wetland wasn't fully circled in. So we had some questions about that we were hoping to be addressed. I don't see Maureen online, is that true?
No, she had another meeting tonight, so
I feel like
she
we knew
asked me
that,
to
but I
cover.
forgot. But happy to pose that question to her as well, just about double checking on why it wasn't fully wrapped in to complete that isolated thing. I think we do believe her, but we wanted to have it clarified.
You're asking for a little bit more delineation to show that's enclosed.
Or just, yeah, some explanation
Okay.
about it.
All right, just want to make sure what you're asking for.
They're proposing to cut 13 trees. It was specified that they are willing to mitigate by planting native trees in the 20-foot no disturb and buffer zone if required, but there is no such planting plan as of yet. Other than that, I had only written down that it's 43 feet away from the wetland, which was mentioned.
All right, so let's see where this goes. Ed, do you have anything on this one? Okay, Rob, anything on this?
It doesn't look like there is, but I was just wondering if there's any, like, is the proposed grading changes between the driveway and the stone wall? It looks like it's like around 120 to 118, which is similar to existing, pretty much, or?
So the existing grade is approximately like 116 on the back right of the lot, and then it does go down to 114 pretty much along the entire wall. So in the driveway area, we were going to be bringing the grade up to 116, as you can see on the plan. and then up near the driveway, it was going to be 118. And in the back corner of it, it was 118.5. So it will be getting raised, and that is part of the reason for the boulder wall.
Right.
Would be to contain the grades, and also we typically would use like a large boulder, anywhere from 2 to 3 feet, sometimes even 4 feet in diameter, so they're very large. They are not easily movable without heavy equipment. Well, you can't move them without heavy equipment, so it's a very good demarcation line as well.
Okay. All right, Sarah, comments, please, or concerns?
I have a concern that a large number of trees is being taken down, and I have concerns about one in particular that I really don't see why it needs to come down, which is a 25-inch oak that is in the sort of upper right-hand corner inside your wattle line, or what I presume to be your wattle line there.
I see that one.
It's definitely outside the driveway. It's really sort of intersecting the 40-foot no-build line. I think with some creative attempts, you could save that tree.
Okay, let's list that. Let's go around, and then we'll just go through it all.
Yep, not a problem.
How's that? All right, Indra, what do you think?
I don't have anything right now.
All right, and Sadie, anything? How about Bill? You have anything?
Yeah, I would definitely endorse what was just said about the 25-inch tree. Our general performance standards for the wetland regulation says, and I quote, "Vegetation, particularly mature trees, shall be preserved to the maximum extent possible." And so I think it is possible to save that tree. A lot of the smaller pines, and obviously are very close to the construction site. I would like to see as many of the large hardwood trees preserved as possible. But that one in particular is a very large, very healthy hardwood tree that it deserves to stay.
All right.
And then one other comment I have is the driveway drainage. The way I'm looking at it, the bulk of the driveway away from the street will flow to the side and then to the rear. So I'm not concerned about that because it goes from the 120 line back to 118 at the rear. But from that 120 gradient line to the street, even though it's pitched to the side, the bulk of that water is still going to end up in the street. So I would prefer to see a trench drain at the bottom of that driveway than, draining off to a recharge area.
All right, so, Jonathan, we have a request to see if you could do a trench drain for, I guess, infiltrate the water at the end. It probably wouldn't be that big because a lot of your driveway seems to be going off to the side.
I would like to just ask approximately where, proposed are we looking to do this? Because anything off the property, I can't do a trench drain. And this property in particular has a very wide, the town owns a big portion of it.
Yep.
So, especially down near the driveway, they own right to the wall. So there's not a lot of water right there.
Well, I don't think he was talking like a swale. I think he was talking about a graded trench drain just at the bottom that would infiltrate.
Mm-hmm.
So right at the wall area?
No, right at the foot of the driveway.
At the street?
Clarify, what wall are you talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not allowed, from engineering, I'm not going to be allowed to install on the town property.
Well, what wall are you talking about? I'm
So
just not getting it.
there's a real small boulder wall right at the property line between the street and my property. So where I have the proposed driveway, it's a boulder wall, but it is there.
The thing is, maybe
It could easily be 10 feet up.
Excuse me?
It could easily be, a trench drain could definitely be 10 feet up. It could be up the driveway.
So if I put it
on the property.
If I put it on the property, I mean, we're talking a very small amount of water, a very small amount of driveway that will be heading towards the street. I mean, it's 10 feet wide, or 13 feet wide by approximately 20 feet.
No, I see exactly what Jonathan said.
So it's not a
Water's
very
going
large
back.
area of water that you're trying to collect. And I will be able to get, due to the fact that it's not a very steep slope, I'm pretty confident that I can get that water to go into the stone
trench on the
Yes.
side? I see.
Okay, the amount that flows is a function of the pitch to the street and the pitch to the side. If there's not much of a pitch to the street and an equal pitch to the side, then 50% will go into the street and 50% will go to the side. So if you assure me that it's not that significant, I'll go along with you.
So I guess we're talking about something like 11 by 30 area?
Correct. That's all it is in this area. It is, I think it's 12
We're talking
by
about the lower half, the small part of the driveway
Yeah.
going to the, and he's saying he thinks he's confident he can pitch it
Wow.
to go to the side.
I fully accept that that whole upper part is going nowhere near the street.
Right.
It's really just the lower
Right.
part. And like Bill said,
Right.
it's just a function of slope.
So does that sound all right to you, Bill? Instead of having a...
Yes. I just wanted to make sure it was considered and I just wanted to make sure it was considered and designed to make sure we capture as much as possible.
Okay, and there'll be either some note on the plan or some kind of spot grading that will guarantee that it's constructed that way?
to go into the stone trench, correct?
Into the stone trench?
Not the trench, we're not talking the driveway trench, we're talking the stone trench that's proposed on the right side of the driveway?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very confident that I can get that to go into that,
Yeah,
into
I
the
mean, I
stone
think you
trench.
make a good point that it's a relatively small fraction of the driveway.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, just to also note, I mean, if you look at the street, the amount of slope that is on the street.
Yeah.
I mean, right at the up gradient side, it's at a grade of 118. And down on the other side of the driveway, it's at 116. So that's almost, I mean, it's, I would say probably 18 inches of slope just on the driveway entrance. So
Right.
naturally, it's going to have a lot of slope going
Yeah,
towards that stone trench to begin with.
Jonathan, I agree with you. You make a good point. Okay. Thank you. All right. The next thing is the 25-inch tree. Can you please save that tree?
Yeah, we can address that. I mean, after looking at it, I mean, I don't disagree. We could.
I mean,
salvage.
all the trees in front and off to the side, towards the front, are most of them are just pines.
Correct.
And, you know,
Yeah, I think we can go back to the drawing board and salvage it and keep it protected and not.
yeah, let me ask
It's not
you,
a
can you,
Yeah.
Bill, should we need some, maybe he can propose some kind of protection for the tree so that you don't put a heavy
Yeah.
dumpster on the roots?
Typically, we do like 2x4s surrounded and then connected with wire or, yeah,
All right.
that's not a problem. We've done that.
Sounds good.
We'll probably require something at the drip line rather than.
A drip line, because like, it doesn't like to have stuff mashing on its roots. I mean, not
Okay.
like
Let's put a note.
huge, but just
Yeah,
something.
like straw wattles around the edge of them.
Something.
I have seen
Yeah.
large dumpsters placed directly abutting a huge tree, and that's not going to help matters.
We'll probably ask you for something like a snow fence around the drip line.
Right.
So that somebody doesn't just shove stuff in there, under the tree.
A snow fence around the straw wattle?
Yeah. something like
Okay.
Or just like around the.
Oh, he can, let him propose,
Yeah, but it has to be around the drip line,
Eileen, we'll let him propose something.
Yeah.
You know, let's see what, right?
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I trust that.
Okay, well, whatever.
Tree protection.
Those are the, and finish the wetlands line, I heard. Did anyone hear anything else that
I want to see.
Jonathan needs to come back with?
Do you want to see a planting plan? Because currently there's no proposed.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, the planting plan.
Okay, anything else, Lucy?
Thought that I have written. Oh, sorry, no. I might have actually, I wanted to confer with everyone else because I can't remember what I saw on site, but how many of these trees on the slope are being removed and will that impact the slope in any way was a small concern of mine, but it might not be as many trees as I felt like it was.
Yeah.
Also, there's going to be some grading.
What slope?
The slope that goes back, you know, that big hill.
Can you just point on the thing?
Oh, like around here. Or I have two mice around here. Where these
Okay.
trees, it slopes down significantly here. It's weird.
So are you,
Right, okay.
It was
Are you
mostly a question, yeah. Of, like,
I'm kind of lost if you're asking for something.
can we just confirm that the trees being removed won't impact the slope stability
Okay.
headed down into the wetland?
Okay, slope stability, okay. And, all right. But there's two pines, there's a 17-inch and a 10-inch pine being removed. As you go, that's before the wall. And after the wall, there's nothing being removed, is there?
Right.
I mean, also presumably, the lowest thing that we're seeing on the plan is the 10-inch pine, but there's probably a lot of other trees that are going to be taken out, smaller guys that might be holding things together. So that was my question, is just, can we make sure things don't go crazy and run down the hill where it's
All
being
right.
held up?
Okay, I'll make a list for, the comment is about possibly small trees destabilizing the slope if they're removed.
Just tree
And the
removal.
two big ones.
Yeah, in
And the-
general.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Anything else from the commission? Is there anyone in the audience who wants to talk about 11 Lexington Street? Anyone online?
That's when you start to get like landslides, is when you take off all the stuff.
Yeah.
I think you have a short list to
Yeah.
respond to.
That's not a problem. I did want to add one quick thing, just in the why Maureen didn't finish with the wetlands. I mean, I walked towards the back, and it definitely just goes uphill, like up gradient, towards the rear of the property. I know it's not flagged, but, I mean, this is definitely just like a depression for a wetland. So the grades did go up.
I walked it too, and I don't necessarily disagree, but on the plan, it's just not showing.
Yeah, I mean, it went off my property. That's a part of the reason. It's not on property on some of it. I mean, you can see
Okay.
where it does go,
It looks
you can
like
see the grades going up.
around.
You can see the grades going up, but it got so far away from the wetland, it didn't impact us at all. Because it just got further and further away from the proposed project.
So do you need, Eileen, do you need some documentation on this, or?
Yeah,
Also-
I'd like just to.
They're flagging in relation to the construction,
All right.
right?
So you can probably
Yeah,
come up with
also-
something,
They
okay.
said it was an isolated wetland. I would like at least a sentence from Maureen, if not an extra flag or two, one or the other,
Yep.
to, confirm that there was evidence that this was enclosed,
Okay.
even if it was off-site.
Yeah.
That's something.
I mean, like when I did the research online, there was, I mean, it didn't show at all for a wetland at all, even relatively close.
Right.
So,
This is Maureen Held, is the wetlands person?
correct, yes.
So she can probably give you a statement.
Yeah, not a problem at all.
All right, is there anything else?
Emoji.
I think you're all set, so I guess you'll, with this short list, you'll continue to the next meeting.
Not a problem.
Okay. Eileen, would you expect that we could close an issue on that date as well?
Provided everybody's happy with the planting plan, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Do we have any recommendations on the planting plan? Just so, I mean, I don't, do you have any, does the board have any recommendations? So, I mean, obviously hardwoods, I think we talked in the past,
All the same stuff.
2 to 3
Of course,
inch. Yeah.
Maureen has submitted a number of planting plans for us, hasn't she?
Maureen has so many ideas.
She knows, she would know what to
Yeah,
do, too.
no, not a problem.
You're proposing to take down 13 trees in the buffer and another, what, 10 outside it? So a good substantial number,
Correct.
like not just 2 or 3.
Oh, no, definitely not 2 or 3.
And hardwoods, not shrubs.
Yes. Full trees.
All right.
Or a mixture.
Yeah, remember what Eileen said, not just 2 or 3. Okay, so could I have a motion to continue the hearing for 11 Lexington Street to September 11th, 2025, meeting of the Burlington Conservation Commission?
So moved.
Second? Ed?
Yes.
Rob? Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
I vote yes, 600. This hearing will be continued on September 11th.
Great.
Jonathan, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a nice night.
You too.
Thanks, Jonathan.
All right, next.
This is going faster than I thought.
All right, notice is hereby given. The Town of Burlington Conservation Commission will take information in a public hearing, all information related to a notice of intent filed by Ariel de Seuss Phil Ho for the demolition of a sport court and retaining wall and construction of a new retaining wall at 1 Elizabeth Ave. The proposed work would be within the 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetlands under the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington Bylaw Article 14. The commission will review the information and thereafter issue an order of conditions and a wetlands permit. And there is a link on the Conservation Commission website under 1 Elizabeth Ave. Hi.
Hi all, my name is Oriel.
How did I really mispronounce your name?
It happens all the time. My name is Oriel DeJesus Filio. I live at 1 Elizabeth Avenue. I'm the current owner there. So a little bit of a summary of what's going on over there is I'm not too tall. I'm 5'6". My wife is also short, so we don't expect kids to be professional basketball players. So we intend to remove the sports court that's currently there and put a couple of trees, level out the area over there that is currently on the mulch. Add an additional retaining wall, and happy to address any questions that you guys may have.
Very good, good summary. Okay, so Eileen or Lucy, do you have some comments for us on this one?
Just making sure it's me. Sure, yes. So this, sorry, I'm just closing things out here. This seems like a relatively minor project, and the reason this became a notice of intent is because when this house build originally happened a few years ago, you had added some conditions to the order of conditions that said any future grading at this property would require a notice of intent. We were trying to just address some things that we were wondering about might happen. The sport court went in, as you'll recall, without your knowledge, and then it had to be approved retroactively. So as Oriel explained, he now wants to remove that sport court and do some regrading and add some more lawn. He's actually going to be reducing impervious, as far as I can tell. Bill had some concerns. I just want to address that right now, Bill. You had some concerns about the numbers in the stormwater reports. I think that Uriel's engineer had not taken into account the existence of the sport court. He was using numbers as if it was lawn, and those numbers were suggesting that there was going to be an increase in impervious. But I can't see how there's going to possibly be an increase in impervious. Added to that, this is an accessory use, so they don't really have to do stormwater calcs. I think they were just giving us everything that I told them that a notice of intent probably typically does contain. So they don't really have to show that. I think it was a really good faith effort. But I personally don't have any concerns about the stormwater report or the stormwater calcs. And on the whole, I'm in favor of this project, and I very much like the fact that he's proposing. They're very open to putting in really nice native trees. They're not just going to put in ornamentals that are kind of just not appropriate for near wetlands. So there will be no actual building within 40 feet, but there will be removal of
removing of impervious surface.
Right. There will be work within 40 feet. Right, that's it.
So we can safely say, since it was originally put in without a permit, we can now say remove it, because that's what he's applying for.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so Bill, do you have anything else on this one other than what Eileen addressed to you?
No, it's just that, to see the flow rates where the post was actually, even though slightly, it was actually greater than the pre is extremely unusual. But they also make a comment, and I think I understand it, the second bullet, where they say that even though it's an increase, it's trivial, it's very minor, and it still is below the original pre-construction conditions, I think is what they're trying to point out there, which, so that would mean if the proposed design now had been the original design, it would still be acceptable, and the peak and flow runoffs would show a decrease.
I don't really understand that.
Okay.
So that's, I think it's an improvement overall by far.
All right, so let's go to Sadie. Anything further?
No.
How about Indra? Anything further? No? Sarah, anything? Rob?
I think I remember before when we were looking at the sport court.
Yep.
I was just wondering if there's for the drainage and the retaining walls, that it's somewhat, also be somewhat directed towards the opposite rear corner, towards the resource area, and not sort of like right towards the fence?
We did have an exchange about that, you and I, about we actually do like to see water going towards the wetland as long as it's clean. That's what, so at the moment, where does it seem to be shown?
Oh, so I was just curious if, I think the current
I
one,
think they
there's
were
like...
originally trying not to send it towards the wetlands, and I was saying, we
yeah.
generally do want to feed.
Yeah, I remember there was, we asked for that like gravel
Yes.
trench.
Now it's coming back out.
And then just there's, like, I think the current retaining wall, there's a little bit of a gap between the fence and the side retaining wall. Did the proposed ones also have?
Yeah, we'll also have the gap, so I'll match the same exact gap that's currently there.
Oil's not graded again.
Yeah. So we'll have the same exact kind of gap.
There was a, sort of like a mock-up proposed image. It was just a little,
That was part.
yeah, like sort of to see on the one with the furniture. I think there was some furniture in front of the retaining.
Oh, there.
I think, yeah, I was just sort of curious on the edge, like in the existing, the current, you can see the retaining wall and then the fence, and then I think in the proposed, or maybe there was a different angle.
Oh, there was a different angle.
Oh, are you saying the gap at the end of the wall?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just didn't grasp what you were saying.
Yeah.
Right, now I'm with you.
Yeah, I would say that's not drawn to scale. But yeah, we'll definitely have the same exact gap, and, if you guys want to put that in writing, yeah, we can definitely do that.
Flow towards.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
All right, Ed, anything further on this one? No? I have nothing further. This is a hearing. Is there anybody in the audience? There's nobody else in the room, so the answer is no there. How about online? Is there anyone else online who would like to talk about 1 Elizabeth Ave?
It's just us and Jeremy. Nobody else.
Guess not.
So it's up to you, but given that it was a relatively small project and we felt pretty comfortable with it, and Oriel has been working with us pretty closely, and they have a DEP number. We drafted decisions for this, so it's up to you.
I would like to suggest to the commission that we move forward. There doesn't seem to be big issues outstanding. Okay? If that's...
I agree.
All right.
Great.
Everyone seems to be nodding their head. Normally, every hearing requires 2 meetings of the commission, one to hear the issues, and then they resolve it, and then sometimes we can close on the next meeting. Well, we're making a special case for you to take care of it all at once.
Awesome, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, I shall just fairly quickly go through the decisions. Okay, we're going to start with the bylaw as usual. Lucy will just make it a bit bigger in a second. So we're saying that this application was filed for removal of a concrete sport court, construction of retaining walls and associated grading within the buffer to bordering vegetated wetlands. The project also included planting of 5 native trees and 17 native shrubs in the buffer. Let me know if any of those numbers are wrong there, Uriel. Then we just referenced the plan sheet that we got from his actually PLS landscape professional. The work would be within the 100-foot buffer. The closest point of the sport court to be removed is about 30 feet from the BVW. The Commission had approved bordering vegetated wetland delineation for a previous filing. The Commission finds that this project is exempt from the mass stormwater regulations as it's an accessory project to a single-family home, but the regulations do include a performance standard for buffer zone, which states that runoff from any new impervious surface shall be infiltrated on site to the maximum extent possible. The new walls will be surrounded by and will run off to grass. The existing sport court will be removed, and erosion controls will be implemented. This may serve as a permit under the Erosion and Sedimentation Control Bylaw. And I'm suggesting a $2,000 bond, but that is, you might think that that's not entirely necessary. I really don't know. Let me just open up the order, which I didn't have ready to go. Did it just switch over? It did. We're again referencing the same plan set. All of those first few conditions are completely standard. Uriel did get a copy earlier of this. the order permits work within the 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands as depicted on the plan, the reference plan, and no other work within the wetland resource area has been permitted by this decision. A lot of those first several conditions are just boilerplate. Then we get down to pre-construction conditions. You'll let us know a few days before you do the work that that's going to happen. You will, at that time, we'll come out to see that the rest of the next few conditions are in place, that evidence that the order has been filed at the Registry of Deeds, a DEP sign has to be up, and some erosion controls need to be put in place. I think in this case, all that is required is some wattles along the bottom of the fence line, and I think that will be sufficient unless anybody disagrees with me. Materials shall not be stockpiled on the site within 50 feet of the wetlands or a stream, and a stockpile should also be at least 20 feet from the street, so as to prevent it going into the street. The rest is saying keep any loose material covered, no dewatering permitted unless you give us a dewatering plan. Keep the street clean. We reserve the right to require additional erosion control. No additional filling or grading other than what's shown on the plan. Obviously, you are showing grading on the plan. Other than that is allowed. Keep everything out of the wetlands. That's what the pollution control ones are saying. And don't discharge anything, including fuel, towards them. Pesticides, herbicides, fungicides should not be used within 100 feet of wetlands. And for buffer zone enhancement, they are proposing to plant 6 native trees and 17 native shrubs per the reference plans. I'm actually not sure it was written on what you got, but Uriel, we have talked about species, right?
Yes.
He gave me a set of.
So you're okay with these numbers, 6 trees and,
If I'm not mistaken, on the plan, it's 5 trees and 17 shrubs.
5? Oh, I may have miscalculated.
I could be mistaken, though.
Well, let's just check it. Let me. So they had identified something like, I don't know, 4 or 5 species. So I was happy with it being a mixture of any of those 4 or 5 species because they're all native and they all work for the area. I'm just highlighting that so we can just double check it. Can you just count the trees so that we're all on the same page, whether it's
Yeah, I just counted it here. It's 5 trees and then 17
5
shrubs.
trees.
Yeah.
I will fix it. 5. Okay. And then request for certificate of compliance. This is just telling you how you go about closing out this whole thing to get it off your deed. Okay?
Awesome.
all right, thank you. You have any questions at all? No?
Not today.
A lot of standard conditions that everyone gets. All right. Okay, so anybody on the commission have any further comment on the proposed permit?
No.
Okay, then, could I have a motion to close the hearing on DEP file number, what's the number? It's 722.
Yes.
122-722. Could I have a motion to close the hearing? Second?
Second.
All right, Ed, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
I vote yes, 600. The hearing is now closed.
Awesome.
Next, could I have a motion to adopt the findings under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 for DEP file number 122-722?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Ed, how do you vote on the findings?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
I vote yes by a vote of 600. The findings are adopted. Could I have a motion to adopt the order of conditions as discussed for DEP file number 122-722 under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 and the State Wetlands Protection Act? Is there a motion? Second?
Second.
Okay, Ed?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Same vote for me, 600. The order of conditions is adopted. Okay, now we have our proposed performance guarantee requested in the amount of $2,000, which is kind of the standard amount. Okay, could I have a motion under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 requesting a performance guarantee of $2,000 for 122-722?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All right, Ed?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, the request is for $2,000 under Burlington Bylaw, Article 14, performance guarantee. All right, so I think you are all set to start your project. Just
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And thank you, Eileen, for the back and forth. I know it's been a lot, but
You'll
yeah.
actually receive, as like with the other people, it's dated next Tuesday, so that, because we have to make sure we get all the paperwork
Yeah,
correct.
most certainly.
So it won't really be valid until then.
That's perfect.
excellent. Have a good evening. It's a pleasure
all,
to make
guys.
your acquaintance.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, let's see, where are we? We are at violations and enforcement, 2 Vandergraff Drive. That was for,
Well, I can give an update on that, or if you don't mind, could we just take that out of order, or does it matter? Just because I see Jeremy's actually been online waiting for, like, I don't know, 2 hours?
oh gee, yes.
Just-
Jeremy, are you there?
Briefly first. He's probably here, although maybe
Jeremy, are you still there?
for 0 Cambridge Street.
Did it work? Hey, it worked. Sorry, I was trying to unmute my stuff. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can hear you. All right. Jerry, why don't you introduce yourself and who you're with, and we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. My name is Jeremy Foote. I'm with TRC. I'm here representing as the wetland scientist and the environmental consultant for Foxborough Learning. And we are representing them in the matters of, wetlands permitting, environmental issues and stuff like that. And we're here to talk about the enforcement order that was put upon the property to do some stream restoration work for a violation that occurred on site with, it was during some exploration test pit digging and soil sampling.
Okay.
The contractors, you know the history. I'm here representing, just to answer any questions and
Well,
talk about.
what is your assessment of status as we speak?
The assessment of status as we speak is good. We were out on August 5th. There was a small crew. We had a crew of 3 people, who, as well as an additional wetland scientist. Ryan Clapp went out on the 5th to perform the restoration services, where they went out with shovels and and reestablished some of the stream channels that had been disturbed. They had also, and when they had gotten done, when they had finished sort of reestablishing the channels and sort of fixing the damage that was done, they spread about 10 pounds worth of a restoration wet seed mix in the area, and then after they completed spreading the seed in the disturbed area, they then covered and laid down a layer of straw to add some soil stability, as well as protect the seeds, keep some moisture down there to help with the germination process. And so that's where I think, that's where we are.
Thank you for the summary. Eileen or Lucy, do you have comments? Is more needed, and where are we from your point of view?
I went out there on the morning of August 5th, and I saw some very hot and sweaty workers just taking a quick break while somebody went off to get a pickaxe, actually, just to help them move some of the rocks and things. So they were hard at work. So I have not had a chance to go out there to just see the final product, but I very much appreciate this update from Jeremy that they finished the work and seeded
Are
everything.
you aware of anything more that needs to be done, or you need to have a site visit?
Or what was the last part that you said?
Do you need to have a site visit?
I will just go out there, or Lucy will. One of us will go and just make sure it's exactly as Jeremy said. See with their own eyeballs. I'm sure it's looking pretty good. Like you said, Ryan Clapp was out there with some of the other workers, and they were definitely working on it that day.
We sent, I realized I just sent it today, so I don't expect it to be included in today's meeting, but I did send a brief memo that described the work that was done, as well as an attached photo log to that memo that sort of photo documented the process, like the before, during, and after pictures So, you have a record of some of the work that was done, what it looked like during and after and stuff like that for your records.
Jeremy, do you feel more work needs to be done at this point?
For this particular thing, no, I do not.
Okay.
I see Jeremy did send this to, let me just share it, just so you know that we got this. This is what he means. He literally just sent it to me, what, a couple of hours ago, Jeremy?
I think it was probably like at maybe 6:30.
So we were basically started the meeting, and he did send me this memo with some photographs. So oh, look at that. You can see the straw-covered, seeded fixed patches.
That was us, it's your computer.
Okay, I appreciate this. I really appreciate this kind of visual on the update, too.
No, of course.
This looks good. Okay.
Yeah, these are more like the sort of after, and then that's the before, and then here's kind of some of the during photos.
Right.
Of some of the digging that was done and some of the restoration for the stream channels and.
Okay. Jeremy, I can't remember what I exactly said to you in writing the other day, because we talked about closing out the EO.
Yes.
But I think if by the time the next meeting comes around, we've gone out there and we're seeing that some of the seeds are starting to poke up through, then I think we'll be in a position to close the enforcement order.
Do we close it?
And if it's not,
What is the process in something like this?
we would do a site visit to confirm that everything is looking pretty good, and then we would just send them a letter to formally close it out. If there's not really a form, it would.
We don't vote on closing it out, do we?
Yeah, we would.
We would vote, okay. All right, just want to make sure. Okay.
So I think we'll just keep an eye on it.
Sure.
And if we can do it, the earliest meeting that we can do so, we will do so. And Jeremy, you may not need to be there at the meeting if we're happy with how it's looking. I'll let you know, okay?
Absolutely, yeah, let me know.
All right, so I think we're all set, right?
Yes.
Jeremy, thank you very much.
Oh, it's no problem. Thank you very much.
All right.
Have a wonderful evening.
Appreciate your patience waiting all this time.
Yeah, no worries. It is what it is. Bye, friends.
Take care. All right, next is 0 Cambridge Street. Next is, 2 Vandegraff Drive.
Okay, 2 Van de Graaff. I happened upon I guess there were wetland scientists out there a couple of weeks ago. They were assessing the area, looking at the soils, augering, making plans. And then I got an update from Serena, who I think you guys met. She's one of the people who works for R.J. Kelly. I can't remember the exact wording, but basically she was just saying that they have already added a lip to the catch basin, which was one of I think Bill had actually made that recommendation. That's already done. And they're coming up with a plan for what to do with.
And they have cleared out the area too, I noticed.
They've tidied it, and they did all that without machinery. And they're coming up with a plan.
Yeah, it's looking pretty.
They just wanted to give us a little update.
It's looking pretty good, actually, as far as being cleared out.
So hopefully they'll get us something maybe in writing for the next meeting. But
Right.
they're working on it.
Right, okay. All right, moving along. Does anybody on the board have any questions on Vandegraff at all? All right, planning board comments, anything?
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Planning board, no. It's
Subcommittee and staff reports. We had a meeting, I guess, Eileen, if you want to, you could talk about it if you want. We went to the Select Board for the warrant. We went to the Select Board to update them on the warrant article before town meeting, which we're going to try again and go with the amended bylaw, and putting the technical details would remain in regulations as they are now. We answered, I think, all their questions, and we seemed to get a 5-0-0 nod that they were happy with it. They didn't vote, but they seemed to say they were happy with it.
Right, they can't officially vote until they receive the actual,
Warrant articles.
the agenda, I think they called it, for the articles, so that doesn't come for another week or two.
Right,
We just wanted to get ahead of this so that we were
right,
in good shape.
right. So it went very well from that perspective. They were very supportive. All right, next, other business. Do we have anything on other business? Anyone? How about upcoming meetings, September 11th, September 25th? Anyone?
Sounds good to me.
No. Okay. Is anyone interested in adjourning?
Adjourning. I thought you said adjourning.
You're like, what, Journey?
No.
Absolutely not.
Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second. Okay, Ed?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Indra?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
I'll just check with you. Sadie, you don't object, do you? Okay. It's a vote of 600. This meeting of the commission is now adjourned. Have a good evening.